Want to bet?
Yep.
Then get into the action at Sports Interaction. Whatever your sport, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pregame, in-game, or on one of the many unique prop bets. Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. Thank you. Or in Ontario, download the app now using our QR code at the bottom of the screen. 19 plus, please play responsibly.
Now, moving on to Rasmus Sandin in Washington. Leafs fans have a ton of anxiety about any good young player that gets traded out because Leafs in the 90s traded out a ton of good players for good veteran players, but it didn't quite work out. And namely, somebody in my generation that I really wish we could have back was the Kenny Johnson for Wendell Clark trade. Oof. That was painful. But also, they missed out on people like Roberto Luongo, Scott Niedermayer. All those draft picks were also traded by the Leafs to, I think, the Islanders and the Devils and whoever else. It does sting. Seeing Rasmus Sandin doing what we knew he always could in Washington does sting a little bit, but it's a little bit early to say, oh, well, Toronto really screwed that up.
There's a couple things there. So Sandin, we know can't play the right, and that was a big issue. I don't think he can play third pair even, really. But here's the problem. Sandin's reputation, like when he was first breaking into the league, was what? Does anyone remember? What his reputation was coming off of the Marlies?
What was it?
That he can play half an hour a night.
Oh, time suck.
Yeah, well, he's a minute eater. You can have a long career being a time suck, Jay Bouwmeester. Like that guy was a huge
Olympic team.
Olympic team time suck, but I don't know if he was ever elite at anything other than playing the most. Every coach he ever played for, it's just like, all right, we're gonna play Jay 45 minutes tonight, and he was fine on a lot of nights. Probably would have been much better if he didn't play 45 minutes. But Sandin, I remember with the Marlies and in the preseason, they gave him a shitload of minutes. The best Sandin looked this season was when they had all their injuries and he was the only guy. And then fucking he got hurt too. I'm not surprised to see him play more minutes and succeed. I just wonder why, while he was here, they didn't give him more minutes.
Right. Well, and you could say that maybe there was more depth up, there was more experience up that side. But he is doing well in Washington. Players on new teams tend to, it's almost like, it's the same effect like when a new coach comes in and a team goes on a hot streak. Well, happened with Vancouver and Boudreau, and look how that worked out.
He's on Ovechkin's power play.
He's going to do well.
Who's shocked by this?
Yeah.
He's going to get more points there than he did with the Leafs, not just because of his 5-on-5 time, but he's running the number one power play.
The reality of the situation, too, and you need to know this as a Leaf fan, is he wanted to move on.
Yeah.
And
so that was the other thing. Kyle Dubas does right by his players.
Right.
What if he stopped that?
You wish they held on to Sandin?
He didn't
need to make that move. He didn't need to make that move.
I think the first round pick definitely helps.
No, but the one I
Sorry,
keep
Jesse,
going...
you mean the 2 seconds.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
The
eventual 2 seconds.
Yeah, the 35th and 45th picks.
There you go.
Yeah.
The one I keep going back to is Barabanov to San Jose. Do you know who he was traded for?
No.
Of course you don't.
No.
Because, who the fuck? It's Anssi Suomela.
Okay.
Who the fuck? Who the Leafs ended up retaining on an AHL contract. Who the fuck? The Leafs didn't know Barabanov had that. Yes, you did. Why'd you recruit him so hard? Lots of teams wanted that player. You went out and got him and proceeded to not play him at all. He played in the top 6 with the Leafs 2-3 games.
Yeah, and San Jose is not deep, and it's the Ryan Dzingel thing. Yeah, he scored 20 goals on the shitty Senators, though. Somebody's got to score.
Yeah, but this is a team that could use a little bit of help on the wing right now, and it would have been nice. It would have been nice.
I mean, who's he better than in the Leafs right now?
You're okay. Alexander Kerfoot is on the top line. I think he's at least as good as Kerfoot.
You think Barabanov's as good as Kerfoot?
Yeah.
I think this is such a stretch.
I have never watched Barabanov play enough to know one way or the other, but that's...
I liked him when he was a Leaf.
Are you suggesting Kyle should have never traded Barabanov because right now he could be on the top line left second line left?
No.
Where I'm going with that, I mean, is he better than Aston Reese? I don't know if he's a better fourth liner than Aston Reese.
But he might have been better than Obey Kubel.
Probably the problem.
He might have been better than guys that got a shot.
But the point is, he did right by his guy by getting rid of him for fucking who? For who?
Well, the Leafs got, on this one, a first-round pick and a roster player.
Which does shit all for them right now. And Gustafsson does not count unless every player on the Leafs breaks their neck. Like, it's not...
He's Morgan Riley insurance. I think that does count.
Oh, boy. Well,
He is
they
injured.
traded Morgan Riley insurance in order to get him.
No, Sandin didn't want to be here. He didn't want to play. He didn't have a
Fuck
spot
off.
in the
You're
roster.
under contract, asshole.
Nah.
You have to play here.
Steve has a point because Jake DeBrusk asked the Bruins for a trade when they weren't playing him enough, and they said, "How about you shove that up your ass?"
Yeah.
And then he rescinded it because things started going well.
think
again.
Ilya Mikheyev asked out.
Yeah,
and
and they
Dubas said
said
no,
yeah.
and he had the best season of his
I
life.
think in Dubas's world, Sandy's not playing. Let me go get a first-round pick and recoup the one I
But
sent out. And
he ought to be.
He should have been taking that first-round pick and sending it out for something
I
else for
agree.
the left
I think he
wing.
probably meant to. Right?
I think that's what he should have done. But
Yeah.
if he meant he should have done it,
Now,
I think that's the mistake. It's not the mistake in trading Sandin.
you got to get something that helps you now, and those things don't help you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he should have flipped it.
It seems like there was something brewing, and then they just didn't get it done.
But
Right,
if
'cause
those
that's
things aren't out there,
Right, but that's
Guess
revisionist
what, Rasmus?
history.
You're
'cause
a 7.
We can go back to a week ago and watch your Sandin trade video, and you're like, "This is great. He should be moving on."
yeah.
for him, from his perspective, it's fantastic.
It's good
And
for
from the
him.
Leafs' perspective,
No,
like
it is-
you were understanding why they were trading this player. He wasn't playing.
They could make this deal at the draft. They could have made that deal at the draft. Now they don't have Rasmus Sandin. Kyle, I want to be traded. Yeah, that's nice. Hey, did your paycheck come on time?
But they were
Fuck
never
off, get
they
in the
weren't going
press
to play
box.
him. Like all these guys they have right now, Sandin's like the 8th out of them.
Yeah.
I'm doing it from Sheldon Keefe's eyes. Sandin would never make the line. He'd be a sitting body, and then you wouldn't have the first round pick.
Now, this is a very good point that you bring up, that it's got to do with Sheldon Keefe and his coaching decisions. So a lot of people pointed out with Kerfoot and Hall, and why is this going to cost Dubas his job? Because he would defend that coach with his life is why. This is his guy through and through. So every decision Sheldon Keefe makes, Dubas wears. That's his guy. It's been his guy from day one. It's been his guy from
So
junior.
if we look at it from that perspective and we say, in Sheldon Keefe's eyes, Sandin is his 10th defenseman with all these defensemen, how do you justify keeping him on the roster when you have a free
Because
first
you
round?
got-
We're trying to win a cup.
You're trying to win a cup, and you want to have depth. And
No,
you-
but he's not playing him.
I know, but you remember.
Yeah, but if someone gets hurt, we will.
Remember
We're
that
trying to win a
Marty,
cup.
we won't.
Marty
Trying to win a cup. He
Marincin was
might
their
play
depth
you.
before, and
Yeah.
he drew into playoff games
Yeah.
because people got injured.
No,
Yep.
but he might play you over Rasmus Sandin. Like, there's so many bodies ahead of Sandin that he would never make this lineup.
Trying to win
he
a
was
cup.
sitting there.
6th floor. Enjoy the popcorn. Trying to win a cup.
He's not playing.
Well, anyway.
Sheldon Keefe's the coach.